Hello everyone and welcome to the 11th video in this tutorial series, and in this one we're going to be doing sound effects. Now we're not going to be making any sound effects, but the music is going to be made by Infenzia and the sound effects are from the Universal Sound Effects pack. You can find that on the asset store or at universalsoundeffects.com, and I'll have links to both of those in the description. But with that, we're now ready to get started, so we're going to hop into the editor now. Okay guys, we're in the editor, and first thing I'm going to do is drag in my music folder, or my entire audio folder actually. So again, this is going to be totally based on the sound effects that you're using, which is why I'm just dragging the folder in, and we're going to wait here for this to finish. But again, we're using just pre-made sound effects, so this folder's just going to be totally based on clicking and dragging into the inspector. And we're almost done here. Okay, so the folder is now imported, and we have a music folder, and we have a sounds folder for each of our categories: ball, enemies, event, game, and player. And we have all the sounds for each one. The enemy has a move and an attack. The ball has one for getting hit. The event has an alarm here that we're going to hear when the text pops up. We have a game over recording, and then we have our recording for our force wave. So now we're just going to go and minimize out of that audio one, go to our scripts folder, and we're going to create a new folder, and this one's going to be called audio. And in here we're just going to be creating an audio player script. So we'll create a new C# script. We'll write an audio player. This is the only script I believe we'll need for this tutorial, and then we'll just be editing other ones to properly play the sounds. So we'll go right into this one now. And now that we're in here, we just have to first create our variables as usual. So here we're going to create a list of audio clips, and first we're going to need to import system.collections.generic. Not like that, but hey, if we can figure it out. Generic. Alright, fingers feel weird today. Anyway, I'll write audio clip in here. And music clips equals new list audio clip. Now what's weird is how these are still white. So I'll just restart my Visual Studio really quick, because the classes weren't properly being labeled and IntelliSense wasn't working right. So yeah, now it's working right. That's new with 2015, I think. Visual Studio 2015. Anyway, we're going to create another list of audio clips. Private list, audio clip. And then in here, we're going to call it unplayed music clips. And we're going to add a public static audio source called music, which is the audio source we'll be playing our music from, and we'll have another one. This one will be called sound, where all of our sound effects will be played from. And we'll write private static audio source to fade, and then we'll write audio clip current track, private float length, we might not need that variable, and public static mono behavior audio player. And the reason we need this is so that we can properly play coroutines from a mono behavior, because our playing scripts are going to be static reference. So in our start function, we'll skip the start function for now, and we'll go down and create our other functions for playing the sound. This one's going to be playing a 2D sound. In other words, a sound that is not playing at any certain point. It'll just sound the same no matter where the camera is. And we'll write audio clip sound, and we'll write float volume scale for how loud we want it to play. Not a semicolon, but in here we're gonna write what's it called? Audio player dot sound dot play one shot and sound and volume scale. And that's a very pretty function, only one line, easy to write. And now we'll write public static IEnumerator play 2D sound repeating. We'll need audio clip. Can't type today at all. Anyway, put sound, and then we'll write int num for how many times we want to play the 2D sound. I'll write a float volume scale. And here I'll write for int I equals 0, I is less than num, I plus plus, and in there we're going to write audio player dot sound dot play one shot, sound and volume scale. And now here we're going to write yield return new wait for seconds, sound.length, so that it will not play the next track until the first one is done playing. And now we're going to write our fade in and fade out functions. So we'll write public static IEnumerator fade out source. I'll write fade in source first actually. And here I'll write audio source, and here I'll write while true if the audio source, if its volume is greater than or equal to 1, then we want to just break our while loop. But since while that's not happening, we'll write audio source dot volume plus equals 0.1 f. Actually 0.01 f. There we go. And then we're going to use our yield return new again. But in here we're going to write 0.001 f. Just so that it happens pretty frequently. It makes a nice fade effect. You'll see. I promise. And then we'll write another one here. Call this one fade out source. But in here we want to do if it's less than or equal to 0, then we want to break. But while it's not happening, we're going to subtract from it. And the rest of that will stay the same. Now we're going to write our choose a clip function. And this is going to return an audio clip. So audio clip, choose a clip, and we'll write list audio clip clips. And in here, I'm going to first write if clips dot count is equal to 0. And we want to refresh our track list, which we'll write in a second. And now he'll write audio clip chosen audio clip equals clips, of course random dot range 0 to clips dot length or dot count. And then we'll write clips dot remove chosen audio clip, and we'll write return chosen audio clip. And now we'll write a function to constantly run our music, which is going to be an IEnumerator. Lots of these in this episode. We'll write run music. We'll write current track equals choose a clip unplayed music clips. We'll write music dot play one shot. And here we'll write current track and a semicolon. and then we'll yield return new, wait for seconds, current track dot length, so that we don't run the next music until that is over. And then we'll do start coroutine, run music. And of course we have to write start coroutine because it's an IEnumerator, otherwise it will not work at all. It will just not call the function. And here we'll write void refresh track list, and for each audio clip in music clips, unplayed music clips.add the clip. Now we add the clip for each audio clip in the music clips after this is emptied out, which we'll see in here. Once it hits, if the count is 0, it'll refresh and add all the clips back, so that we'll have a list of music again. Basically what this does is ensures that it will never play the same track a second time, or I guess it can play it a second time but not right after each other. It'll have to play every song before it'll play another one a second time. Anyway, so we're gonna go up to our start and update functions. Actually, we don't even need an update function in here, I believe. And then in here we're gonna write audio source, w out, audio source array, audio sources equals get components, audio source. So we're gonna have two audio sources on one game object, and we'll just pick and choose which audio source we want for each one. So the music one will be the first one, and then the sound one will be the second one. And then we're going to refresh our track list on the start. We're going to write start coroutine, run music. And now we're going to write audio player equals this, just to store amount of behavior. And now we're going to go and to the into the editor and then change some more values there. Okay, so now I just want to add in a new object here. And we're going to rename this one audio player. And you might imagine that this one will have audio sources attached to it. Here's audio source 1. I'm going to change this down to volume 0.5 because I haven't really sorted out my volumes properly yet. But this one's going to be the music, so that's why it sort of just gave a good volume at 0.5 that made more sense as a ratio with the other audio. Anyway, now we need to add our audio player script. And we're going to drag our music clips into there. So here we see music clips as soon as it lets me drag it in. There we go. And being slow, I guess, today. Anyway, so these are all we have attached to our audio player, and this should work. I'll start now. And there you can hear the music going on there. Anyway, so now we need to add in some sound effects. So we have a few scripts to change here. So first we're going to go over to our input handler. So in our UI, not in our UI, it was in our scripts and then game controller, in our input handler, and oh, oops. Anyway, so in our input handler, we're gonna add a new variable here, just for the audio clip. I'm going to an input handler. This one's going to be called the force wave sound. Alright, public audio clip, force wave sound. And then we need to do the same thing for our ball hit sound. And we're going to need to call them in here properly. So we go down to activate force wave, right, audio player dot play 2D sound, force wave sound 1 as the volume, because it's pretty quiet, so we're going to keep our volume at 1. And then there's, I believe the ball part should also be in here. It should be whenever you push object. So in here, I'm just gonna write. Oh yeah, we need to change this if statement here. I like that. There we go. And that. All right then. Visual Studio, thanks. Okay. Oh, that if can push. That's why I'm putting this in the wrong place. It's my bad. Anyway, semicolon here. I guess I got confused because this the semicolon disappeared. So in here we're gonna write ball kick sound, and it's just gonna be that. Except we're gonna go 1.5F actually because this sound was pretty quiet. But you'll have to figure out the volumes for yourself if you're using different sound effects. Anyway, so we should be done with our input handler now. So we're gonna move on to our text drawer. So in here, going to scripts, we'll go to game controller, or is it game events? Oh, it's UI. Okay, text drawer. And in our text drawer, we're first going to make a change in here. So here we're gonna write text drawer dot start coroutine audio player dot play 2D sound repeating sound, and then num strobe blinks divided by 2 and 0.1f. And here we're going to add in sound in our parameters, audio clip sound, and the volume is low because this alarm was very, very loud. And then we'll put a semicolon here, and we're good on that one. Now we need to go over here to our event controller. We need to make our sound here. So public audio clip, and this should just be called alarm, I believe. And then we're going to, in here, when we draw our event text, also pass the alarm to it. And that's it for our event controller, and I believe also for our input handler and our text drawer. And now we need to go to our game controller. So game controller, and in here we're going to add a game over sound. Oh, this needs to be public. I'm gonna make sure I made all the other ones public. Public, yep. In there wasn't one. Anyway, so audio clip game over, and then in the end game, where is end game? End game. Oh, oops. Anyway, so in here I changed this to an IEnumerator, and I also removed the static tag. But yeah, so here we're gonna write start coroutine audio player, oops, dot fade out source audio player dot music. So we fade out the music whenever we die, and then game ended dot true is already in there. So then we need to write input handler. We wrote that already too. What am I doing? And then here we're gonna get our components. Power up controller dot stop all coroutines, and I'm gonna do the same thing for our event controller. And there, we have fader.fade, and then here we're gonna yield return new wait for seconds 2F. So we're gonna wait 2 seconds before saying game over, just because at that point it'll be all faded out. This should be audio player. Audio player dot play 2D sound game over, and then 0.5F with a semicolon. So that's it for our game controller. And now we have to change our nanobot. So I believe in, where is it in? It should be an enemies script. Oh, AI, right. Okay, so in our nanobot here, This guy needs 2 new audio clips, so public audio clip, move, and attack. Oh, I guess we'll call it fire. And in here we're going in our fire function. So fire. Over here we're gonna call audio player dot play 2D sound fire, and then fire. I'm thinking for the volume we'll probably do 8.8. We'll do 0.5. So that doesn't get horribly noisy when there's a nanoswarm. And then an F there so that it knows it's not a double. Anyway, so in our next move here we'll do the same thing. Move. And we'll do the same volume. Or we'll do a bit louder because it's more quiet. And I think I'll just move this to the fire function actually. There we go. And now we're done with our nanobot, and I believe that is all of the sound effects that I worked on. So in the editor we're going to go to our audio player, and no, we finished our audio player, so we'll just go to our game controller, and we need to add in the sounds here. So input handler, public audio clip. I guess it didn't update. That's interesting. So in here this should update so we can add in our stuff, but it's not updating, so I'll be back. Oh, it's never mind, it's because of the compilers here. Forgot to call what was the sound? Alarm. That was weird. I remember writing that in. But that's fine. And what else? Oh, it was just that. Okay. And hey, now our audio clips are here. So we'll just go to our audio. And so for the input handler, we had ball, hit sound here, and then force wave sound, which was player. And we had the game over, which was here, and then what else do we have? Event controller should have the alarm warning, and I believe the last thing is just the nanobot. So under scripts AI nanobot. Oh no, here actually we need to go to the prefab. So prefabs and then enemies and nanobot here. And he needs his. I'm gonna lock this in here so that it doesn't disappear. And I can just go through here, find our enemies, and here's the fire sound, and here's the move sound. Okay. Now, if I set the volumes properly, this won't destroy your ears. So, I'm going to hit play now. And look at how much more lively that makes the game. Oh. Now that is loud. But yeah, pretty clean sound effects. We need to test the game over one still, so. Oh, the game didn't end. We need to write start coroutine in the thing, that's why. Oops. So in rebound, go to our game controller, and instead of end game, we need to write start coroutine. End game. Otherwise, it will not call the function because it's now an IEnumerator. So we'll hit play. And I'll wait for this alarm to disappear. So now if we just drop him here.
Game over.
Yeah, it faded out. You could see the ball falling here. But yeah, the music faded out and he said game over. And yeah, but that's going to be it for this one, guys. Thanks a lot for watching, and make sure to hit the like button if you liked, and hit the subscribe button for more stuff like this. See you in the next one.